Today we've got a reading for you about a family situation. Perhaps there's some arguing, perhaps there's some misunderstandings in terms of how everyone feels about the situation or what was expected, but there's some hurt feelings and some disrespect that need to get sorted out. And whoever I'm reading for, you're being encouraged to find an opportunity to talk through this situation so that you can get past whatever has happened. So let's call on spirit with a little bit of Winchan. And I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, my email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It is in the description box for you, as is right below that more information on how to join the membership for the channel if you're interested in more content. Hello, Candace. How are you doing? Let's dive in and get a little bit more information with the Path of Shadows. Also, a reminder that I will be giving away 2 free personal readings when the channel hits 20,000 subscribers. Doesn't seem like that'll be too far away. So you'll want to make sure to keep an eye out. I will do a live stream giveaway with some TV trivia. Hello, Key Controller. How are you doing? Self-doubt. In shadows deep, fears and doubt creep, a specter haunting, where courage sleeps. I do feel like there is some lack of confidence that has been as a result of the interactions with siblings or parents. There's definitely some difficulty here in terms of being able to connect with all of the family, right, in a way that is respectful. We've got Lantern, guidance, illumination, and hope. But there's something here that makes you feel like maybe you can finally talk through whatever has caused the difficulties between the two of you. Hello, Rockfender. How are you doing? Oh, I hope you learned how to ask better questions. That was disappointing. Hello, Michael. Hello, Gary. How's it going? And then we have Demon, the temptation of living, the fear of regret, dancing among the ashes from the flames of hell. Well, that is definitely like leveling it up a little bit. And I feel like this would be some problematic attachment someone in your family must be dealing with. So it may cause this person to be a little bit more likely to express anger or rage versus love or appreciation. This is the Santa Muerte. Let's see what else we've got for you. Hello, Blue. How are you doing? Hello, Outlaw. Hello, Muamua. Did I do it right? Hello, 3DS. 5 of Pentacles, abandonment, 2 of Wands in the reverse. This feels to me like someone who did not do right by their obligations to you. So this is probably a parent that we're talking about. Someone who left you to fend for yourself, or they didn't provide any kind of encouragement or direction that they really should have done. With the 7 of Swords, this is, I feel like, a parent who doesn't want to admit that they were not there for you. They have like a different version in their mind, a different recollection of how things went down, because it's easier for them to think of it that way. It's easier for them to avoid accountability. They don't want to admit that they didn't actually offer what they should have. Hello, Jorge. My email address is in the description box if you're looking for a personal reading. Hello, Sa. You're welcome to join in conversation, but if you're going to tell people that they're going to hell, that's not cool. You might want to look up the difference between positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. Be a solid learning for you. Hey, that's cool, Mask Giver. Good luck with that. Hello, TR. How you doing? Hello, Barbara. Hello, VR. Hello, Danny. All right, so look, this person doesn't really want to admit that they weren't there. They like to kind of gloss over the details of your childhood. They just want to make it seem like they were, maybe not perfect, but more or less they did what they needed to do. But more what I've seen is Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. I'm supposed to help you figure things out. I'm supposed to tell you, here's what I learned or pass down this wisdom. But instead, we've got somebody who, if I'm honest, it looks like they were too busy partying. They were too busy chasing thrills. They were too busy doing anything else. This is not somebody who did right by their obligation to their child. They were more interested in activities or situations where they could be not having to worry about obligations. This is somebody who doesn't really like responsibilities, right? Hello, Harold. You can call me Carmen. Hello, Donald. Hello, Drones. How are you doing? I think there's probably a better place for you in YouTube. Probably not the channel for you. Hello, Oscar. How are you doing? Charizard. I don't think I have that for you. My apologies. Nine of Pentacles. You had to do things on your own. And then we have a Santa Muerte. This is the death card in this deck, but we've got a pregnant skeleton. There were fears that this parent maybe didn't really share with you, that when they became a parent, they felt like their life was over. They felt like all of the decisions were made for them. The die was cast. Now I can't change anything. That's not your responsibility. That's not something that you chose. You weren't like, okay, I'm ready to be born now. Go do it. But they blame you. They blame you for the change in their life that happened because all of a sudden now there was somebody that depended upon them, right? Hello, Terminator. Hello, yes. Nah. Hello, Dur. I don't think it's possible, to be honest. But I will tell you that it does really lend itself to one of the interpretations of the death card, which is rebirth. From death comes life. From endings come new beginnings. So if you look at it in that way, maybe it's a little bit easier to handle. Aw, that's sweet. I'm gonna screenshot that. I tried to screenshot it and I pressed the wrong button. Did it go blank, you guys? No, thank you. I'm not on here trying to date anybody. Hello, Mohammed. So we've got the Empress, Mother Energy, Three of Pentacles, Strength, and the Five of Wands in the reverse. I feel like this is somebody who's trying to say something complimentary about themselves and their role in your life. Like, yeah, I'm proud of that person. Here's all of the things that I had to do to make sure that they got to the ripe old age of whatever your age is, right? I feel like they're trying to take credit for things that you had to do on your own. Do you see anybody else in this picture? This is the Three of Pentacles. This is you creating your life. This is you taking care of yourself. If you've never seen the movie Mid-90s, that might be something that would be of interest to you. I think it should probably come with a trigger warning, but you had to check your own homework, make your own dinner, learn your own lessons and it's made you strong. But this Empress doesn't have to be a woman, but it is kind of coming through more so as a mother wound. This is somebody who doesn't want anybody to know that they didn't really do right by you. They want to take credit for you, right? Hey y'all, if you want to come in here and make me feel bad about myself, I just want to let you know that that is a really difficult thing to do. So probably better things for you to do with your time. The thing about trying to send negative energy to people who have a pretty good sense of self is that you will spend days, weeks, months trying to figure out how to actually make them feel bad about themselves. So, you know. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for subscribing. Hey, Joe. Bye, Joe. We've got the 7 of Swords. Sorry, 4 of Swords. This is about solitude and taking some time to think about things, having to reflect on what the childhood actually was for you, because I feel like someone's trying to rewrite history and claim that they were a great mother, claim that they were a great father. This is someone who wants to be seen as responsible for something that you did on your own. Again, do you see anybody else here? This is telling me whoever I'm reading for, you like basically raised yourself. This person was out partying or meeting new people, right? Hello, Angel. How are you doing? That's adorable. Hello, Mohammed. Hello, Pasionaria. What's happening? Wow, now we have the Emperor and the Magician. So because this person was absent or because they did not do right by their obligations, you did have this energy of, okay, I guess I got to take control. Did that start right away? Probably not. There was some period of time where you felt lost. You needed to find something to follow, and maybe you fell in with the wrong crowd. Maybe you learned a couple of difficult lessons, but you were able to keep moving forward. The lack of presence from this family member didn't stop you from working towards what you wanted in your life, and that's pretty beautiful. So I hope you appreciate yourself. But when this person tries to take credit, when this person tries to talk about how, oh, I don't know, the skill set or the gifts that you have clearly come from them, whatever they're doing here to try to take credit, I feel like your initial reaction is, what is, you think what? No. So basically, you have to call this person out because they're lying, because they're trying to make it sound like they were actually pretty there for you, pretty involved, instrumental even in your childhood. No, I'm sorry, that's not true. Did we live on the same planet? They like to gloss over the difficult times that they created and pretend that it was just kind of like no big deal, right? Oh, maybe I wasn't there every now and then, but you did fine. You just watched The Simpsons. Or you were gone every night until 3 in the morning. That's not how it's supposed to go, right? Little revision of history that's not standing because you have a different energy about you. You've been able to make a life for yourself, not because this person showed you the ropes, not because this person showed you love, but because of you, because of your strength. And I feel like it's time for you to tell this person to stop taking credit or to stop making it seem like they were some great influence on you. If anything, it was, hey, if you can't be an example, at least be a warning. You taught me how not to live my life. You taught me what not to do. I'm never going to do that to a child. If I have, kids of my own someday, my goal will be to not be like you, right? That's how this person feels. What's up, Bedlam? I hope you're having a good day. You're sweet. Hello, Barbara. Thank you for liking the video. I appreciate it. So we've got Page of Lightning, which is the Page of Swords in the reverse, and the Four of Lightning, or the Four of Swords in the reverse. I know that you left things that hurt you or made you not really know how to love people get in the way of how you approached parenting or how you approached my childhood. But if you want to sit and make it seem like you were some, you know, doting parent, you really weren't. And I'm not going to lie about that. I'm not going to sit here and pretend. So there are several coffins in the Santa Muerte cards that have come through, like this Seven of Swords. For some of you, this is at a funeral. It could be, you know, hey, have you spoken to your mom or your dad lately? And someone in the family is expecting to hear that you've been able to reconcile, and you might have to explain, like, I don't know if you really know what my childhood was like. You might have gotten some sort of glossy version of it, but here's what really happened. For others of you, it may be your parent who's passing away. My condolences, whatever it is, but I feel like you have to explain the truth to the person who raised you or to somebody who's talking about it as if they knew that it was great, and you're like, no. Let's get the record straight here. That person who had a responsibility to me because they brought me into this world, they did not do right by that obligation. All right, well, I wish you luck. Muhammad, maybe pick up like a Where's Waldo book. I feel like that would be like right up your alley. Ooh, I have heard that, Bedlam. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, I've dealt with it enough. I think it's about whether or not you give power to others to influence how you view yourself. If you have a strong sense of self or self-awareness, you can get through just about anything people want to throw at you as far as name calling, right? What's up, Dana? How are you doing? So what else about the mother-father situation here? Fool in the reverse. The Moon in the reverse. And the Queen of Wands. I mean, the images that are coming through, or like what's being channeled, really seems to be about a self-absorbed individual who wanted a lot of attention, who wanted to have a good time, and you were basically an inconvenience. You're their family, but they made you feel like they had more important things to do. They didn't have the best of intentions whenever they were speaking to you, so they might not have cared if they said something and they hurt your feelings, even though it could be something that you remember clear as day 50 years later. They didn't really do right by you, not just in the sense of making sure you were safe, but that they were contributing to a positive sense of self for you. Hello, Barbara. What's up, Drew? Hello, Anne. Hello, Doctor. How you doing? Hello, who that? Hello, Erin. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm writing down your name just in case we get to $15 in tips, then I will take personal questions. And those who tip have priority, of course. Hello, B-Time. How you doing? Hello, Ryan. How's your day? Four of Pumpkins or Four of Pentacles in the reverse. Letting go, releasing. and the Queen of Potions, Queen of Cups. I do think that you have learned to accept how things went. In other words, I don't see that you are somebody who has a chip on your shoulder. You know things were difficult, you know that maybe others had it easier, but you don't want to repeat this cycle of being overly fixated on yourself and potentially having some of those negative attributes that you saw in this parent that you had to deal with. So I feel like you've got this very naturally loving and compassionate side to you, but you had to work for it because there was definitely this temptation to follow that path and really only care about yourself, right? Hello, Christine. Hello, Red Storm. How you doing? Yes, John. Exactly, Bedlam. So we've got the Knight of Swords or the Knight of Lightning. And the Seven of Lightning. I was gonna say, doesn't this person just look like they're trying to schmooze you or they're trying to tell you something and they're like, come on, you know you want to believe me. I'm telling you the truth. I swear. This is the mother figure or the parental unit telling this little story of theirs, right? Making everything look super beautiful and lovely and just how a family should be, right? But they're either making things up or they're completely changing how things really went to try to make you look bad or to try to make themselves look innocent. They might exaggerate what behavior you were doing or whether or not there were some, battles. They might make it sound like it was more your fault. Lovely. Yeah, everyone, if we reach $15 in tips, I will take personal questions for you. That is correct to that. I am not Halle Berry. There's in fact only one Halle Berry. I don't think she reads tarot, but if she did, I'd be interested. Hello, Savage. How are you doing? Maybe you could lighten up on the emoji for me. Just a small favor I ask of you. Hello, AJ. Hello, Derek. Okay, well, Savage, it looks like maybe we need just a little bit of a break, okay? I give the live chat 10 minutes of no emojis from whatever your name was, Savage. But if you want to come back and use words, have a little bit of variety in what you got going on, we're here for it. Ooh, Elvira. Absolutely, absolutely. Hello, Tarot Tay. How you doing? Queen of Pumpkins or the Queen of Pentacles. And the Seven of Potions in the reverse. There comes a time with regards to the relationship between parent and child where sometimes you see the child is acknowledging you're just stuck. You want to look at things in that particular way. You don't want to see them any other way. But I feel like this is more so about not only do I know what the truth was, but I'm also not going to let you continue to tell people that I was the problem, right? So there's clarity here. I know what happened. You know what happened, but you insist on telling people something else happened. You know what? I'm done. I'm not going to let it continue to be this lie that I feed into or that I stay away from. I'm going to openly challenge you. You want to tell people a lie? I'm going to tell people you're lying. Let's see how it goes. And I'm not encouraging combative energy, but when it comes to speaking your truth, I do think it's important to be able to correct these kinds of stories that are meant to make you look bad. Yes, precisely. What else do we have? Six of Pentacles in the reverse. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse and the Two of Pentacles. For some of you, this is a parent who doesn't want to admit that they were not there for you or that they left you to fend for yourselves because they're in a weak financial situation and they're hoping that you, being in a better financial situation, will help them through this loss. Hey, kid of mine that I didn't really take great care of because I was too busy partying. I'm kind of in a rough financial spot and I see you got some monies over there. Could I have some? You remember me. I was really nice to you. I did all the things that I was supposed to, right? No. How about no? You were never there for me. I want to put a little asterisk on this. I think it's important to be charitable. I think it's important to be generous. I think it's important to not lose your compassionate and loving side because you are dealing with somebody who lacks that. But you also have to be able to draw a boundary or draw a line when you are done with somebody who only takes and never gives, who only lies and never admits, right? I think it's important to have those boundaries because otherwise you deal with somebody who is unreasonable and they never learn, right? You never hear the word no, then they're not going to be very easy to deal with. Hello, Kenny. How's it going? How's the music career? So you know what this person's doing. You know that they're trying to kind of guilt you into helping them. And I feel like for some of you, you're like, okay, how about this? I'll loan you $1,000, or you know what? I'll even just give you $1,000. But you have to admit what really happened in my childhood. Like you were just partying and you weren't really there. Go ahead. I'll wait. I don't know if it's worth it. That will put them in a very difficult position because they don't want to admit that they were wrong. They don't want to admit that they failed you. If they say it once, will they have to say it twice? Thrice? I wish there was a cool fourth option there, but I don't think there's one. It would have to start with quad, right? Quattro? Maybe we should make one up of our own. What do you think? Hello, Shamika. Hello, Brian. So this is someone who gets angry because you give them an opportunity to get what they want, but only if they're honest with you. Only if they're honest about themselves. Not a very easy thing to do for somebody who has a very large ego and no familiarity with the concept of accountability. A little tough for them, actually. Hey, Michael. No, I don't. I feel like it's kind of a waste of time. When you read for yourself, you're looking for a particular answer. It's much more reliable if you have somebody else looking at that energy. So I feel like you can kind of get lost if you're doing that. If you're learning how to read tarot so that you can read for yourself, do the buddy system. Get a best friend. Have them learn tarot around the same time. Y'all can read for each other. Just gotta be honest about what you see. Hello, Erin. Hello, Archibald. Hello, Cozy Cat. How are you doing? Welcome back. So this parent who was not much of a parent is put in a situation where they could potentially get what they need in terms of some sort of financial assistance or, hey, can I have a place to stay or whatever they need, right? Sure, I'll help you, but I want you to actually be honest about what happened. You know, that thing that you always lie about because you want to make yourself sound better? Yeah, let's see. You want to be honest about it? Others of you, it's more so just that you are denying their request or saying, I'm sorry, I'm not in a position to do that, or I'm sorry, that doesn't feel like something that I could make work. And I do want to just, you know, be very clear about it. The way that you recall how I grew up is very different from my recollections. Page of Wands in the reverse. The way you measured it, the way you saw it, does not line up to the way I do. They will defend their version of the story till the very end. They don't want to admit that they messed up. They don't want to admit that they did not do right by you. Thank you, Derek. Hello, Renee. How are you doing? Realm of Bedlam, I do have a playlist. If you go to my channel homepage, there's a ton of playlists in there, but one of the playlists, probably towards the bottom, is Learning Tarot. I haven't recorded any new videos for that for a while, but I want to say there's maybe 2 or 3 of them on advice. The other thing I would do is in my shorts section, it's really hard to look through that because there's probably like 7,000 shorts that I've posted. I think it does let you search within the shorts, and there's Learning Tarot shorts that I posted as well. How's it going, Lost House? But yeah, maybe I could do another one of those Learning Tarot videos. I'm worried I would repeat myself because it's been so long, so I don't know what I initially had said. The squirt gun emoji is one of my favorites. I love it. So we've got the Knight of Pentacles. Seven of Swords. Does this person know how to tell the truth? Ever? Is it completely foreign to them? Because I swear if they're breathing, they're thinking about what to lie about next. It's like, hold on, give me a moment. I just need to like smoke a cigarette so I can figure out how to lie the next thing you say. I don't know if you can count on this person to have an accurate reflection or to like be honest about things that happen in the past and involve them, because they're always going to be looking to make themselves sound better or look better. I mean, this is the energy we have for them. Queen of Wands, right? Hello, Andrea. How are you doing? I can do that. I have some of that. There is a reading that I did that was part reading, part analysis of the movie Black Swan. Pretty proud of that. And actually it's super related to this reading because it was about the relationship to your mother. So again, if you go to the homepage for my channel, you should be able to search it. I do feel like it specifically calls out the title Black Swan. So I would look that up. It might be super relevant, but it talks more about that divine feminine energy. Yeah. Did I not say hi to you, Kat? I thought I did. So look, this is somebody who has probably played around with the wrong types of energy. That's going to be, it look a little bit different for each of you. Some of you, this is hanging out with the wrong crowd. Some of you, this is trying to chase the wrong dreams, or even dating the wrong people. But I do feel like for a significant amount of you, this is somebody who is trying to draw in certain energy that was destructive or problematic for you. Yeah, I believe that. So we've got futuristic, visions, innovative, crafty, plans, and trendsetter. Soul, infinite self, source, non-physical, karma, and Akashic records. I feel like you're breaking a generational curse because you're not passing on the same types of behavior that were sent to you through this person, right? Some of you may choose not to have children. Some of you are very determined to be a very present and accessible parent. And I do feel like there's some jealousy here because you've been able to have a more successful life. There's something about your finances being in a better situation than your parents. Hello, Allison. How are you doing? Hello, Surfing. How are you? Hey, Steve. You know what would be funny is if you just took this little like next 10 seconds and played it for your parent, what would your parent do if I said you're smarter than they are? What would they say if there was some like actual test score or a report that said you are smarter or more successful than your parent? I think they would lose it. I think they would absolutely lose it. They don't want to be compared to you, certainly not in a negative light, but this is coming through as because you actually listen to your intuition, you're combining different types of intelligences while your predecessor, your parent, was doing this the whole time, right? I don't want to know about that. I don't want to know about that. I'm just looking at the thing that I want right in front of me. Hello, Bigfoot. Hello, Shauna. How's it going? All right. This is Johnny's deck. Johnny Arcade, the guy who made the Dr. Pepper emojis for the members. I don't know why I changed my accent like that, you guys. Sorry. Hello, Max. How are you doing? I will be taking personal questions if we get to $15 in tips. With priority, of course, to those who tip. Yeah, I guess when you have that compassion or that empathy, when you genuinely enjoy seeing other people do well, when other people's good news makes you want to celebrate almost as much as it, when good news happens to you, then I think it's especially difficult to get into the frame of mind of someone who would rather see people fail or would, prioritize the competition over the compassion. But that's just how it is. Some people don't have that empathy. Hello, Isaiah. Yes, indeed. Thank you, love and peace. How are you doing? All right, so we've got the King of Cups and the Nine of Rods, which is the Nine of Wands. So you are being guided to have firm boundaries at this time. You have learned to be more emotionally and financially stable than the parent here who is asking for something. And they are going to make you feel guilty for this because they feel entitled. But I feel like the universe is saying, stand your ground on this. This is not something that is reasonable for them to ask, or they're not being honest with you about what is actually going on. Yeah, exactly. Hello, Hubie. How you doing? Hello, Random Duck. Hey, y'all, if you want me to take some personal questions, I will if we hit $15 in tips, okay? Hello, Chris. How's your day going? So we have the Ace of Rods, which is the Ace of Wands. This talks about somebody who is realizing that they have some good things going on. This could be about like good news, right? You have a promotion, maybe you published a book, maybe you bought a house, maybe you had a child of your own. But whoever it is that should be celebrating or happy for you in terms of this milestone that you've reached or this progress you're making in your life, it's like there's jealousy instead. They are not excited for you. It's more so that they're kind of distant and okay, whatever. Thank you, Shauna. What else? The Fool in the reverse. Yeah. I feel like it's really important to believe in folks around you being able to change the things they need to in order to do right by you. But the message in this particular reading is that your parent is not interested in becoming a better version of themselves. They're the type of person who, like, they peaked at age 19. They're like, yeah, never getting better than this. This is great. I don't know where that voice came from, but this is a little bit of unfounded ego, right? No, this is exactly what I want to be. There's nothing that I need to do differently, nothing that I need to change. perfection right here. And I don't think they've really changed that. I think they just believe they're pretty awesome, pretty dang perfect. And it's like, okay, yeah, about that. So if they don't want to change and they don't want to treat you right, then anybody out there got a reason to actually pay any attention to them? I can't think of any. So you're telling me you're rude, you're self-absorbed, you don't know how to love people, you like to make me feel bad about myself, you like to make sure that I don't achieve the things that I want to achieve, and you're in a bad spot, you really need my help, and you don't plan on changing any of those negative attributes, even if I'm doing something to help you. Do I have it all right? It's a no from me, dog. That sounds like something I don't want to do. That sounds like, no. Because let me tell you, if I had done you wrong, if I had been a bad friend, if I had been a bad partner to you, or if I had been a really bad employee, and I came back around and asked for my job back, or I came and asked if I could like sleep on your couch, and you said, yeah, but like it'd be really cool if you could be respectful towards me, I cannot imagine saying that's unreasonable. I would never do that. Why do you think I should be nicer to you? I'm asking you to do something nice for me. That's what we're talking about right now. They don't want to think about what is owed to you. They don't want to think about how they didn't do right by you. They just want to talk about what they need. What's blocking them. Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. Yeah. So they feel like they're trapped. They expect you to help them, but they pretty much let you be in a trap situation or, you know, on your own when you were a child. We've got childhood friend if this were in the upright, but it's in the reverse. This was somebody who wasn't there for you when you needed it, and they want you to be there for them now. It's a little selfish, right? Yep, exactly. It's not something that they're able to shift their perspective on, primarily because they don't want to change. They don't want to be more considerate or, you know, put you first or put anybody else first for that matter. Did I say hello to Darnell? Hello. So we've got chasing, pursuit, toxicity, and resilience. So this is someone who ran away from you, and now they're chasing you. Now they're trying to find space to talk to you because they need something. If you were to call them and say, hey, I need your help, they'd be like, what? No, I'm way too busy having fun. I have no time for that. But they expect you to drop everything and help them. That's an interesting perspective. So you're getting to the point where you feel like it's justified and you don't need to feel guilty about pulling back your energy or having that boundary in place, because this is somebody who's asking a lot more of you than they were ever willing to offer you. Yes, exactly. Wow. Okay, so we've got influences, attachments, third parties, and peers. This is someone who seemingly places more emphasis on how they are viewed or seen or respected by others, but they take your love for granted, right? Well, I am like your mom, so you have to love me, right? They are more focused in who they can get outside of the family. So they may be a little bit overly obsessed with dating apps, or they might be the type to get married before they really know someone. They're constantly looking for love in the wrong places and probably expressing intimacy in just like one way, you know what I mean? And trying to get them to be honest about what's going on, what they want, or how they feel is probably a lot like pulling teeth. If you're a dentist, that's great. You probably know exactly what you're doing, but me, nah, I'd be like, no. Hello, Leba, how you doing? Thank you for subscribing. I would ask that you please not repeat your question, please. Otherwise, I will put you in a timeout. What else? So we've got realizations and possibilities. So the thing is, this is somebody who's asking you to inconvenience yourself on their behalf because they haven't been able to plan accordingly. And if you are going to give them that space, if you are going to do this thing to help them, it closes doors for you in terms of the possibilities you have for future endeavors or paths that might make sense for you. So do not sacrifice something that would be amazing for you just so that you can do something for a selfish individual that doesn't want to be honest with you about what really happened, right? Okay. It looks like you wanted to be in timeout then. So, Chavez, I feel like you're probably being a little bit sexist here or generalizing something that you shouldn't. It looks like you want all the ladies to work on themselves, but because we're making men suffer. So I'm just gonna like not make anybody suffer through that comment that you wrote and put you in a timeout. And I'd like you to consider that the way we are defined as a species doesn't always mean cut and dry, men, women, we all do this, you all do that. We've got to be able to find a way to connect with people in a respectful way that isn't trying to put everybody in a box or isn't assuming the worst out of a whole group of people, right? That's how you end up missing out on connecting with some real people, some beautiful people. So, you want to come back around the channel? You can, but you got to show respect, okay? I would think yes. Hello, Revelations. Welcome to Keep Us Moving. If it's not your thing, that's just fine. I wish you a great weekend regardless. Did I say hello to Matt? I think I did. Hello, a friend. How are you doing? Looks like maybe you need to find a different part of the internet. Because it ain't here, hun. Hello, Adrian. How are you doing? I think we need... Let's see. We're going to go with the Gilded Reverie. Let's see what we get. Not everyone likes green eggs and ham. Hebe, I'm sending you a big ol' hug and some additional confidence. Sometimes people want us to feel small because they're intimidated, and it's probably because you are much more authentic, which is, as far as I'm concerned, the best attribute anyone can have. Be yourself, right? So we've got the lilies and the house, number 30 and number 4. This is talking about peace and serenity. I feel like this person's trying to ask you if they can move in. I feel like this is somebody who wants to invade your space. And it would make things much more difficult for you because then you would be surrounded by that energy. For some of you, this is an in-law or a parent of yours that wants to be involved in the raising of a grandchild. And whoever is this person's child is like, I'm sorry, what? You want to help a child actually like grow up? Wow, that's news to me. As your child, you were never there for me. And you want to be there for the grandchild. I don't know if I want to let you anywhere near them, actually. So there could be a new child on the way or a baby that was just born that is kind of like the catalyst to this conversation. Maybe they want to stay there and help you raise the baby, but really they just need a place to stay. Just be cautious because I don't feel like these are good intentions. And I would be real insulted if somebody who didn't want to be, you know, like a parent to me now all of a sudden wants to help with my kid, right? So we've got number 6, which is the clouds. This talks about ambiguity or some secrecy. I think this is encouraging you to keep distance because you have a beautiful romantic life or family life that is starting out. Some of you are just starting to date someone. Some of you are about to get married. Some of you may have already started a family. But this is a little caution for you that the person who was not a very good parent to you is not ready to be a positive influence on the life that you have created for yourself or the family that you have outside of this parent. So it might be wise to kind of protect that and keep that away, right? All right, let's see. Thank you, Dana. Will anyone figure out that I'm seeing? All right, let's see. Michael, I wouldn't say it's geared towards someone specific. It's a general collective reading, but obviously dependent upon that relationship with a parent being rather stressed because they weren't involved. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Grindhard. How you doing? Waist, I do not read palms. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I do know, however, that I have very long thumbs, which indicates that I could be artistic. All right, so what I'm gonna do is actually just answer Dana's question real quick. I know we haven't reached the $15 thingy, but I'm gonna do her question and probably sign off. All right, so will anyone figure out that Dana is seeing on? Yes. This is to do with someone seeing communication that shouldn't have. Someone looking at your messages, someone overhearing a conversation, someone who I feel is really good at a poker face, and someone who feels like there is some unfinished business. I hope that helps, Dana. Oh, Shauna, thank you. Do you have a question? Let me know if you want me to answer a question for you. Hebe, I definitely encourage you to continue to write poetry. I feel like that is a very important part of your path. You think so, Key Controller? Hopefully they learned something, right? Oh, you're so welcome, Dana. Thank you, Grindhard. And Aaron, I don't remember what the question was, if any. Oh, I didn't write it down because you didn't put a question. Aaron tipped me earlier. I want to say the last part of the username started with a W. So if you have a question, let me know. Otherwise, Shauna, if you have a question, let me know. And I'm going to ask Grindhard's question. Is my lady friend ready to kiss me? Is she ready to kiss him? No, she's shy. There are requirements here in terms of, like, no first date seems to be a rule. This is someone who does not, I feel like they don't kiss on the first date. I feel like there's a little bit of a, you got to do this and then maybe that, right? Okay, that sounds good to me, Shauna. What do we have for Shauna, please? Truth be told, my favorite is when someone wants a personal reading and they just say, whatever comes out. Because I love that. It really does open things up, and there might be things that you need to know that you don't know you need to ask about, right? What do we have for Shauna, please? So we have the Five of Cups, the Three of Cups in the reverse, and the Three of Wands. I see a group of 3 people. So this could be like a small group of friends. This could be a family unit. This could be people within a workplace. Oh, thank you, Mr. Drew. But I feel like there is a risk here of something going wrong, or somebody who is hiding their sadness, hiding their depression. So the ask here, Shauna, is to be observant of the people around you, the people that you are close to, the people who may not be telling you that they're having a rough time, who maybe need a hug. I feel like there is solace or solidarity that you can offer to somebody because you are particularly observant. So when you feel that little pull, see if that person needs your help. Hello, Gary. How's it going? Well, that sounds nice. All right, let me see. Thank you, Tarot by Nature. I appreciate that. Okay, so Random Duck, you did not put a question out there, but I'm going to see if I can pull some cards for you. What do we have for Random Duck, please? You're so welcome. Six of Cups in the reverse for Random Duck, Ace of Wands. That goes to the reverse. Random Duck, you got a warning here. It's flashing in bright neon red. You got somebody coming right back around. This is an ex or somebody that you felt like you had gotten rid of. I don't mean that in a violent way. I'm just saying I think you don't expect to hear from this person. This is somebody who is stuck in their old ways, and I feel like you are focused on the new ways. You are focused on a better situation. And this person's walking that happy right back to you, feeling like they can get back in, feeling like they can get your attention. So I think this is saying stay focused on that new chapter. Don't let this person from your past distract you, because they will block you from what you are supposed to be doing or what is meant for you. So stay focused. Don't let this person convince you to unblock them. Don't go take your pants off with them. Stay focused, okay? Hebe, I will pull a card for you. Hebe the poet. Oh, look at it. I said Hebe the poet, and there you are. You're writing. That's the Eight of Pentacles. We have the Ten of Wands in the reverse. Knight of Cups in the reverse. Five of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so here's a strange reference for you. I'm hearing the name Dostoevsky. I don't know if you've read Dostoevsky. I don't even know if I'm saying his name right. I think it's Fyodor with an F. F-Y, I want to say. This is an important name for you in some way, maybe because you already enjoy this person's reading or writings, or maybe it's because you can learn from it. But I do feel like there is something here about the difficulties and the trials and tribulations that you go through being not trivial, being really difficult. and I'm sending you protective and healing energy, but these experiences produced something within you that it's like exaggerating or adding on to amplifying your talent. I feel like you're going to be able to write very beautiful words about sad things. We all need that because we need to be able to relate to it. So lean into it, appreciate the beauty within the sadness, because you have an ability to help people see that. So I definitely feel like writing is important for you. But I wish you all the luck in the world. And thank you, Random Duck. I appreciate that. Oh, please don't include your date of birth. All right, y'all, I really do have to run. But if I can make it back later today, I will come back, okay? I love you guys. Adios.